Hello, Jurassic Jones here. This is the fourth episode of my reviews of the all six Jurassic movies. And this one will finally make it to the Monday somewhat with Jurassic World. The film that resurrected the franchise. A somewhat, wondering where we call it soft reboot, but one that would go down as probably one of the most beloved Jurassic movies right next to Force. And that's considering this movie is 10 years old. It's been over a decade since it came out. So, for somewhat of the 10-year anniversary of this movie, happy 10 years Jurassic World. This means a kid who, if Jurassic World was a movie, would be able to would be in elementary school, but yeah, still feels like Jurassic, but it's still beloved by fans, including myself, especially when it somewhat changed the formula of Jurassic franchise. Now let's begin with what it's about. Now how I usually start out these reviews by saying this franchise is about not playing God. Well, they took that and said, let's play God to a stream. They created a new dinosaur from scrap. And then raptors come into existence. They start killing people. The average Jurassic stuff. Philosophical debate about Owen Grady and Quill doing as they go on wacky shenanigans as the Indominus Rex is in the background. Also, two old nephews in it. Yeah, I forgot about them. Forgot they even existed. But yeah, also, it's weird knowing how this movie that came out 10 years ago still has better CGI than Marvel. And so, Love and Thunder, Joe Keel. But yeah, and that's considering it has essentially kind of gone. Jurassic World movies essentially formed their own thing away from the Jurassic Park movies. Those different enough, and that's considering we're now only a few months away from Rebirth, and Dominion came out almost 3 years ago. Yeah, it's still a good movie, very good movie. Do have some problems with it, but yeah, especially reading how Jurassic World is a movie that, unlike every other somewhat reboot of a popular franchise, well, where we all know how it usually goes. Fans get upset, it usually doesn't go good, and usually get the fans all mad. And basically insult any kind of reboot, remake, anything from the last, probably from the last 15 years or so. Probably from anything from the last 12 years. But yeah, that's considering how I forgot what I was going to say. That's considering how, unlike every other one, it's actually somewhat good. And Jurassic World isn't technically a reboot, somewhat. Even though critics got hated it, because critics can accept the fact that it's a dinosaur movie. A movie about dinosaurs, or something, I don't know. But it's still a good movie. Sure, there are some weird things. Sure, I think there are some weird about it. Like, I generally thought one of the actors in, one of the scenes was a guy from Supernatural for a moment. And it was one of the weirdest things. But yeah, that's considering good movie, no. That's considering it had a very bad Thor movie. And that's considering last time we talked about a Jurassic movie was the Thor one. Now it's... But this one is moved to Jurassic Park 3. That no returning character was older than Dr. Wu. And it was essentially somewhat of a bold choice. Now looking at the Jurassic franchise doesn't technically have basically a character that has to be in all of them. Like, it's not like how Supernatural was being just basically one world is basically, it's still about the Winchesters.
Yes, we know they're toxic, but the
And
animals
I'm
don't
getting
eat
a
them.
lot of Supernatural references. About to finally finish that show that had 15 seasons. And no big part of it is probably the Indominus Rex. The thing that is like the equivalent of it's like the somewhat of the, I guess, devil of Jurassic Park. Jurassic World. It's a beast. Especially with how they took the concept of playing God to the extreme in this one when I think about it. That's considering it's one of the most terrifying animals in all of the Jurassic franchise. And that's saying a lot. That's not including the books. But yeah. And then another big part of that would have to be the famous raptor herself, Blue. Now Blue would become... Now it's kind of so weird seeing... Now Blue is a big part of why I think the full Jurassic World movie is so disconnected. They even more have the idea of the raptors be even stranger by having the idea of by kind of making the raptors somewhat of a big part of the Jurassic World. Like, they were already a big part in the original Jurassic Park trilogy, but they were even a bigger part in at least the first two Jurassic World movies. Yeah, it's weird seeing the Minion. I don't know if it's because the Minion's like the most connected or least connected. Especially with how disconnected Jurassic World 3 was. How Jurassic World 1 was. It was very disconnected, but yeah. And that's considering how big the Raptors are in the franchise. And how they're a big part of it all. But yeah, that's considering Blue has probably became one of the most iconic Raptors from the franchise. Out of them all. I guess right now it's basically generic Raptor number 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and other numbers. So yeah, that's considering this move. That's considering, I don't know if it's just me, but the Raptor designs in Jurassic World 1 was very different than how I remember them being. Like, Blue didn't look as blue at all. And that's considering this movie would have Dominion. Gonna have to watch both the extended cut and the normal cut. Man, I can't wait to watch probably one of the worst movies I have ever seen. And I seen some mid movies. But now time on to the old, somewhat of Quail dealing. Man, it's so weird just seeing how she is in the full Jurassic World movie and then comparing it to the later ones. Like, it's just weird knowing how she's supposed to be the same character, considering how she acts in the old two Jurassic World movies. It's just so weird to me. Like, she's like probably the character that has gone about probably the most amount of changes out of them all in anything I've seen, other than somewhat Cassio from Supernatural, as I think about it. But that was one of the few. That's like the old case scenario. That's considering how she's somewhat for blame when you think about how why the dinosaurs got off the island. Even though it seems like we both will be retconning that, yeah. So, yeah, it's weird. And then we have, yep, like just Jurassic World 1 just feels so disconnected. Feels like you can treat Jurassic World 1 as kind of the final Jurassic movie. And that's how it's, and I wouldn't be surprised that Universal kind of just wanted to make Jurassic World the final Jurassic movie. But then after making more money than every Jurassic Park movie, and becoming one of the most biggest movies of them all, probably Universal went, we can make a buttload more money off of this. That's movie studios, so they just milk everything till it's July. Also, Rexy, and also it's real no. Also, I have several questions about like the Jurassic animals in that one valley, the dinosaurs in that valley at the end of Dominion. I hope they explain it by they better come up with a good idea, especially reading out this move, especially reading out. It's supposed to take place like essentially a decade after Dominion, like 2028 or 2029 at the least. Would be 6 or 7 years. But yeah, good movie. Knowing how, and that's considering this is, that's considering the idea, especially reading how the idea of the Indominus, people have criticized the idea of the Indominus Rex, but like the idea is that it's supposed to be a bad idea. Jurassic Park is a commentary on how humanity is basically stupid when you think about it. We would make a park that would have animals that could basically send us into extinction, and we would help them. But yeah. And also, so Chris Bryant was in this movie, but may that be all today. If you like Indiana Jones or Jurassic Park, subscribe to my channel. I have all videos like that and somewhat fan films. But see you next time, archaeologists and paleontologists.